one more good attack and one good last pass and one good last shot, we got them.
Anything else? Kev, how do you feel you played personally tonight? You were all over the place. You looked like you had every reason to be exhausted out there, but you were pushing at the very, very end. I don't know where you got that energy from. Why were you open for this?
Yeah, I would say everyone really performed really, really well. I mean, Nick was running a lot. It's not just me, it's the whole team. Like if the whole team showing effort, you can't be not running, you know. So everyone was running and it pushed everyone, and then you just in a flow, and then you keep running, you don't think about it anymore, and then you try to push the team, you try to play well, you try to connect your passes. Even if you have sometimes you don't connect the pass, but you have to keep going, you have to get again the ball and you have to play it in, and you have to push the team.
Let's go.
Did it surprise you that Cal Poly didn't step on you in overtime as much as they did at times during regulation? Because they certainly needed to get 3 points one way or another out of this place tonight. They got one, and they're running out of games now. Were you surprised they didn't really step as much as they were during regulation?
No, I mean, Kevin said it. You know, when you're looking at players' faces, and I would say with about 20, 25 minutes left in the second half, you could tell they were exhausted, and you have to. That first half, they again, in order to take away our offense, they had numbers back. You know, so they pressed us up the field with 2 forwards, and then when we broke them, all those players were expected to run back on defense. So in a way, they defended with 5, but they attacked with 5. And when I say they attacked with 5, it wasn't like they were attacking with the 5. They were trying to take away our possession up the field. So those 5 players are on our half of the field. They're pressing. And if we got through them, then all 5 of those players were expected to run back and get right on top of the 18-yard box. So that kind of running, again, only happens in college soccer because you're allowed to substitute. But his starters, especially his back line, who he didn't sub, was really done. So you could tell that in overtime, the conversation in overtime was simply don't commit yourself, get behind the ball, battle. And again, I would also add that it's really, really hard to generate an attack when they can physically absolutely take away. I mean, Nick played unbelievable tonight, given the fact that it's literally, 2 arms around his waist, wrapped up, and what are you supposed to do with that? So you can't get free. And then I thought in the first half, the 2 or 3 times that we broke through, obviously you're not going to break through. I mean, all you have to do is look on the video to see the fact that you can't get open in that box, because at some point in the game you realize that there's not going to be a call. So literally, if the ball gets played in that box, you just find your guy, you put your both arms around him, and you just hold him. And that's it. And it goes away. And so I don't know how you're supposed to score in soccer when it becomes that kind of game. And, I'm not saying that it wasn't maybe both ways, because they certainly, I think, we got the benefit of the doubt on the call right at the end of the first half. But with that being said, go look at the film of the game. There is no separation in the box because you can't lose your man. So it makes it really hard to score. It really does. I mean, no one's really open. And as I said, Kevin said it well. We followed the game plan, which was wear them down, and we'll get them in overtime or at the end of the second half. And the goal just didn't come.
Well, Tim, you worked on head balls with Kevin last night here at your evening practice.
With Nick.
With
Nick,
yeah.
yeah.
Nick. He hit the crossbar in the first half. He blistered one over the crossbar on another flick. And then he gets a left foot on the rebound of Salamane's shot that was saved. And Lacass's standing on the goal line,
right,
saving it there.
Yeah.
Nick's doing everything right, isn't he? And
yeah.
He's just not getting the
yeah, no, I think we now ran the streak of consecutive posts for Nick. I think we're on game 8, where he has hit the post on a head ball, and it's been on a head ball, and he did it again tonight. So it's 8, and again he does well to get to that, and you have to understand when he's heading that ball, it's at least one guy that's absolutely draped all over him. and he's still getting up and battling for that ball. It's just again, it's one of those just unlucky streaks where he keeps finding the post, and consequently it's the like tonight, that's the goal that opens up the whole game. You get that goal in the first half, and now the game changes. They're gonna have to come back out at you. They're gonna have to do something. Again, unfortunate, but I thought Nick played very, very well tonight.
And do you feel fortunate to get a point, Tim, because Cal Poly had 2 goals that were waved off? One was very close and cost us to offside, but then also Tituan colliding in the box at the end of the first half of Durand. Maybe with some officials, some referees, that's a penalty kick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was very clear offsides. I mean, it wasn't like he wasn't offsides on their goal. The conversation was whether or not we headed it or they headed it, and it was very clear that their player headed it. I mean, at least it was from where we were. So there was that one. I go back to the 2 calls that happened in the first half and we broke through. Unfortunately, I guess in this game he decided that he was not going to call anything. So you could say, well, we had 2 or they had 1, but at the end of the day, there was not going to be a call in the box, not tonight. And so you had to find a different way to score a goal tonight. It wasn't going to be from a penalty spot, not tonight.
It did look like, from outside appearances, that you did suffer a major loss in Daniel Almonte. What's the latest on you?
I don't think it's anywhere near what happened originally. It's just kind of again, we'll know more tomorrow, obviously, but it's back to, it's a setback. But it's not, again, we're back to, we won't look for him this week. And then once again, we'll see if we can get him, back going before we play the 2 games that matter most. I thought Jeff Quezada did a good job coming in tonight. I did. So again, as I said, I mean, the key is if we can get that kind of play from our center backs. I mean, our center backs were good tonight. Daniel was good tonight, and then Jan gave us good minutes. And I don't know, we just, again, offensively, we were unable to, get behind them, get by them. We just seemed to run into them. And as I said, every time I looked up, when the ball was either right or left, there was at least 2-3 players over there. And so they were defending with 8 the entire game. And obviously that makes it tough to score. In a game like that, you need 1. And we certainly had enough looks to get 1. And it didn't happen. So, again, as I said, I mean, the guys are disappointed, but our whole point is we went from a team that was just bleeding goals and not able to control games, especially late, to tonight where, as I said, 15, 20 minutes left in the second half, all of overtime. It was one-way traffic. They stopped threatening. Again, we gave up 2 shots in 110 minutes, so it's kind of hard to be disappointed, with those stats. So we did that part right, and that's the part that's going to take us somewhere. We just need to. I don't want to use the word lucky, but we certainly hope that Nick can hit less crossbars.
Right. Tim, I think Randy. I'm sorry. I think. Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got it. He covered it.
Go ahead. No, did you? Yeah, I think you lost Randy now for a game. That was his 5th.
Yeah, that was his 5th yellow, and again.
Can you turn the lights on?
Powers. Yeah, I mean, we lost Randy, but that's we're at the point of the year where you're going to end up losing a couple players. The big question that's going to hit is when we play Davis. We have Josue is the other one with 4 yellows. I don't think Lamar got one, did he tonight? Okay, so there'll be a real conversation, obviously, about whether or not you're playing Josue against UC Davis. Obviously, if it matters in terms of finishing in first place, maybe. But in terms of, we've been playing these games out. I don't believe you necessarily change it for anything. You're going to play your game, and if you get your 5th yellow, you get your 5th yellow. The only conversation you have about 5 yellows is you don't want to miss the playoffs. So UC Davis, we will sit down as a staff and go, which guys it does not make sense. Now, Randy sits out a game, and once he hits postseason, it goes up to 8. So,
There we go, Tim.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.